Now this might be a hot take for a lot of the Star Wars fam out there, but Star Wars is bigger than the movies. Over the last decade, the novels and comics, the animation and games have been telling some of the most compelling, emotional, and undoubtedly Star Wars stories in our favorite galaxy, far, far away. But here's the thing. Unless you're knee-deep in this fandom and consume every medium of Star Wars storytelling, it's possible you're missing out on your next favorite Star Wars story. I'm your bro host Chris Ryons with another BX dive into why Lucasfilm needs to adapt Star Wars novels and comics, and maybe even some of the video game stories for Disney+. Since the beginning of the new Star Wars canon in 2014, the novels and comics have expanded the galaxy in incredible ways. Claudia Gray's Bloodline novel explores Leia's political life before The Force Awakens, her relation to Darth Vader, and our first hints at the rise of the First Order. And her Lost Stars story tells a complex and tragic romance against the backdrop of the original trilogy between two lifelong friends. One joined the Rebellion, while the other, the Empire. Charles Soule's Darth Vader comics run is set right after the events of Revenge of the Sith. He's not the Vader we know from the original trilogy, yet. This story reveals how Lord Vader built his legend, hunted surviving Jedi, and forged his terrifying persona. And the High Republic Publishing Initiative introduced a whole new era, a golden age of the Jedi with a galaxy-spanning antagonist movement unlike any we've ever seen. And there are so many more high-caliber Star Wars tales to be read. These aren't side stories, these are rich, character-driven narratives that deepen the saga we love. These stories can thrive as live-action or animated 6 to 8 episode series or a one-shot feature, allowing new characters to become favorites or existing favorite characters to be seen in new ways, along with new worlds and an array of story styles to be seen by a wider audience, so that when new stories are told or we see an environment that may still seem out of place for Star Wars, fans who normally don't read the comics and novels will be a bit more accustomed to these new environments, thanks to the already established stories finally reaching them, which leads to my next point. Adapting canon novels and comics solves two big problems. Accessibility. Unfortunately, a lot of fans don't have time to read every novel, single issue, or trade paperback like the rest of us sickos in the fandom. I said us sickos, come on. A Disney Plus adaptation would make these stories mainstream, no homework required. Adaptations give Lucasfilm ready-made stories with built-in fan bases. I say this all the time when talking about what kind of live-action or animated Star Wars feature or series should Lucasfilm do next. I'll say something like, War of the Bounty Hunters, just do that! It's all finished, right there for the picking. It features Kira's return. Fans who haven't read the Crimson Climb or Most Wanted novels that love the Solo movie and desperately want a Solo 2 would love to see that. No retcons, no contradictions, just faithful, no fuss, no muss visual storytelling. Some stories are practically begging for an adaptation. The High Republic comics and novels, set centuries before the Skywalker saga, this era has Jedi, politics, and epic villains like the Nihil, anti-Jedi religious sects that aren't Sith, an insane underworld, and creatures unlike anything in Star Wars before. Perfect for Disney Plus prestige storytelling. From the previously mentioned War of the Bounty Hunters to its sequel stories Crimson Reign and Hidden Empire, to Ethan Sack's Bounty Hunter series, which shines a light on some of the most popular bounty hunters in the Star Wars mythos, as well as establish some new favorites, or the many amazing story arcs from the main run of Star Wars by writers Jason Aaron, Kieran Gillen, Charles Soule, and the current main run series by Alex Segura. So many great adventures with the original core group of Star Wars legacy characters that rival the movies we all know and love. I said what I said. Force Collector is one of my favorite Star Wars books. A story set in the sequel trilogy era about a Force-sensitive boy with the rare gift of Force psychometry. That's an ability where a Force user can touch an item and get a glimpse of that item's history through the Force. With this ability, he's able to put the pieces of the puzzle together on the historical facts about the galaxy, and how things came to be in this present time. Facts that through Imperial propaganda faded over the decades. And don't for a second think I forgot about the character who needs to be seen by the wider Star Wars fandom the most, Doctor Aphra, a morally gray space archaeologist with two death-dealing droid sidekicks, 000 and BT-1. That's Star Wars meets Indiana Jones in the most insane way. For this to truly succeed, and for the love of the Force keep the discourse at a minimum, Lucasfilm needs to treat these adaptations with the same respect as series like Andor or The Mandalorian. Top tier writing, definitely have the original writers involved, consistent tone, and the courage to stay faithful to the source material. Star Wars storytelling doesn't stop with the shows and movies. It continues to grow beautifully in the connective tissue of the comics and novels, and that connective tissue needs to be seen by a wider audience. And Disney Plus can make that happen. It's time Lucasfilm opened those books and let the galaxy truly come to life. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what kind of comics and novels you'd like to see adapted for a Disney Plus series or feature. If you like this video, please give us a like and consider subscribing to our channel or becoming a member here on YouTube or on our Patreon for early access to videos like this and more. May the Force be with you, Star Wars fam. Always.